What's going on, everybody? Hopefully, audio video is working. I'm turn my sound on real quick, see if I hear anything. Sounds like it's working. Good to see everybody tonight. I started the stream a little bit early tonight because I set up the second camera. Let me go ahead and add that to the stream. It should be on the side over here, maybe. But added a second camera, the Barbados Cories, and as soon as I set the camera up, they are showing spawning behavior. And I'm actually going to flop the screens so we can keep an eye on them. You can see them. I don't know where my hand's at, but in the left side of your screen is the intake pipe for the hang on back filter. This tank was a no filter tank for the longest time. But with Corey's, I wanted a little bit more flow. So I added a hang on back filter. And I don't really, it's just got a sponge filter in it. It's a homemade sponge filter. I took a piece of matte filter and stuck it in there. It actually needs cleaned. So the water flow is not very high. But these Barbados Corys love to put their eggs on the glass right under the return flow. So right where they're at right now, that's the hang on back filter is dumping in. It goes the length of the tank. So the hang on back filter is on the side. And when it dumps in, it's creating a current down basically the front of the tank, what you're seeing. And these guys go crazy. And actually what you're seeing is two males and one female. So the males have the really long fins. I call them wings. They're really long. So right in front on the glass right now on the left side is a male, and then the middle is a male and a female. The female is the lighter brown one, and they're swimming towards the other end, the darker side. So this tank is actually probably one of my favorite, if not my favorite tank in the house right now. It goes between this one, my CPD tank. This one is very, I guess, natural feeling to me. This was my axolotl tank. So it's just driftwood, and I set up some cobblestones to make kind of a cave for the axolotls. And then for the axolotls, I ran it's a Crypt One Day Red. It's kind of to the right. The video quality sucks for since I'm streaming to the internet to StreamYard from a cell phone. It's a Crypt One Day Red on the right. Right in the middle in the background is a Nubius. I believe it's probably a Barterai. And then in the middle foreground in the front of the picture is dwarf Sagittaria. And that's kind of sprouting runners. And it might be hard to tell right now, but there's actually runners starting to go into what I call the cave. If you look in the driftwood, there's actually a Cory in there right now. I can see one sitting in there. But it's starting to shoot runners actually inside, which is pretty cool. But this is a very low light tank. So this is a 20 long, and it's using a Stingray by Phoenix clip-on light. So this is not even full tank coverage. The light's directly above that Nubius. That's why that Nubius is really bright. But everything else is going good. The dwarf Sagittaria is growing and sprouting. Maybe if I had highlight, it would grow quicker. But it's perfect for this tank. The Corys really like. It's not heated. Barbados don't like to be heated, so it's just room temperature, which is, if I had to guess, the water temperature right now is probably 67 to 68 degrees, somewhere in that neighborhood. The room itself is 68, so the water is probably a degree or so cooler. So yeah, but welcome to Friday Night Live. It's been a minute, right? So I don't even know the last time I streamed. It's been a month or whatever. I've told you guys before. These streams are no longer scheduled. It's just kind of whenever I have free time, and tonight I have free time. So I'm like, you know what? Let's hang out, make a live stream, and see what everybody's doing tonight. I don't have any insider news. I try to give some information, being that I have wholesale accounts. I know Aquilon is still discontinuing some of their bigger tanks. I haven't heard much more about the glass shortage. I told you guys about there was a glass shortage of just the whole logistics of trying to get glass to make tanks. And some places are looking to get tanks instead of like from China, from South America. Haven't heard any more about that, so I have no idea. I do know Aquilon has a new, I think it's called a 60-gallon breeder. So it's a 75-gallon footprint. So it's 4 foot by I forget how deep a 75 is, but it's 75 deep. But instead of being taller, it's shorter. So that's going to be really good for like big pleco breeders, stuff like that. So it's kind of like a 55, but deeper. So that's a cool tank. I don't know who all has those. I think Petco has them, from what I heard. Maybe they've been out for a while. I just heard about it a few weeks ago. So if you haven't heard about it, now you have. I think it's a 60 breeder. So you have a 30 breeder, a 40 breeder, now a 60 breeder. But some other exciting news is this tank behind me. This is the Vienna Guppies, Super Red Plecos, and Brilliant Bristlenose Plecos. My favorite Pleco right now. Cool news is, so I've been fighting blackbeard algae in this tank for months and months and months, just kind of letting it do its thing. I pretty much haven't done much with the tank itself because the fish have been happy, so I don't want to mess with it with like pulling plants out. The only plants really in there, well, that's not the only. Majority of what you're seeing is all Amazon swords. There are some crypts and red melon swords in there, but it was getting really heavy on blackbeard algae. And so I started doing more frequent water changes. I wasn't changing the water very frequently, just monitoring nitrates and topping off water. So I started doing water changes, and the blackbeard algae kind of dissipated, but now I have green algae. It's not as stringy as the blackbeard, but it's still kind of stringy, but it's green now. Well, anyways, the tank itself does not look pleasing to the eye with all the algae, but the fish are loving it. So every day I see the guppies are picking at the algae. And what's awesome is I believe I made a community post a while ago. I don't know if it was a month ago or 2 months ago. I found more Brilliant Bristlenose Pleco babies. So up until then, I had 3 babies. I had 1 baby, and I sold it to Matt. And then I had 2 more babies that I also sold to Matt at the same time. So I had a total of 3 babies from 2 different batches, if you will. Well, in December or sometime in January, I think it was December, I found babies. And I found 7 of them is what I counted, confirmed all at once. I was like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And a lot of times with these guys, I mean, I don't know how easy it is to tell on this thing. It's very densely planted with these Amazon swords. There's a lot of hiding places for baby plecos. There's a lot of caves in there too. And there's lava rock pile at the far end. So it was possible that I saw 7, maybe there was 10, but I confirmed 7. Well, tonight, as I'm setting up the stream, I feed them. I feed the whole tank Tetracolor Tropical. Finer grinds for the guppies, and then just whole pieces for the plecos. Both plecos, Super Reds, and the Brilliants love it. I'm going to flip this bigger because I don't know if you guys can see. This is hard. Right there, tip of my finger, that's one of the baby bristlenose. They're about an inch long right now. The original 7, or the 7 that I've counted, they're all about an inch long. But there's one right there in the back. You can see all this. This is green algae now. It was all black, but now it's green. It kind of looks cool. It looks like moss, and the plecos are just hanging out on it and stuff. So, there's one up there, and then they're tiny enough and they blend in so well that it's kind of hard to try to point them out, especially on a live stream. But tonight I saw one, the male bristlenose, in a cave. I'm like, I wonder if he's sitting on eggs. That'd be cool. So I always keep a flashlight right here, and I shine it into the cave, and it kind of scared him. He moved forward. He wasn't sitting on eggs, but he was sitting on some fry. So there's more baby bristlenose, brilliant baby bristlenose, which is super awesome. I saw 2. As he moved forward, 2 kind of like got pushed out from in front of him. So he's sitting on some fry. So there's at least 2 more babies in there, possibly more. So this tank is just, it looks like crap, but man, nature is just taking over that tank, and everybody's doing so well. And to think that I have 9 baby bristlenose in the last 2 months. Brilliant bristlenose. I say baby bristlenose, but I'm talking about the brilliants. 9 in the last 2 months, where before in a year and a half I had 3. So the last few months I just stopped giving a care about the algae and what it looked like, and now the fish are really thriving. So it sucks because it's my display tank, but it's not what you would think a beautiful display tank would be, but man, it's working. So anyways, that's just my happy moment of the night tonight. But let me switch over to the other screen so I can see the chat. I haven't been in the chat, so I want to see what everybody's up to. Tonight's drink, and this is going to be maybe a shocker to you guys. Let me switch over back to the bigger Barbados screen, see if we can keep an eye on them. Tonight's drink is a mason jar. And now I don't know where my screen's at. So mason jar, very it's a candlestick, I believe, holder. But this is my wine glass. I'm actually having some wine tonight. It was in the fridge, so I figured let's drink it. It's really sweet, so I gotta limit how many glasses these I'll have, because I don't want a wine hangover, all that sugar. But usually I drink water or root beer, so having an adult beverage tonight with you guys. But the first one in the chat tonight was Texas Fish Room, and Texas Fish Room said, "Don't know if I'll have good Wi-Fi on ship when it comes around, but dropping in now to say hey." Well, it's good to see you. Glad you dropped a comment, even if you won't be able to make it through any part of the stream, but good to see you, Texas Fish Room. Lady Melhead was the second one in here. Good to see you. And Baron Von Yunzer, always a pleasure to see you. Chevy Fish, always a pleasure. I feel like I'm just going to keep saying always a pleasure, but it really is to see everybody in here tonight. Let me see where I'm at. S says, "Yo, what's going on?" GB, good to see you. Lady Melhead with a super chat. The 614 super chat says, "So glad to see you back," with a smoochy emoji. Well, thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate it. Baron Von Yunzer with a $5 super chat. Thank you so much. Says, "I gotta get a new video up with the fish and plants I got from you. The 125 is going off." That is awesome. Yes, it is. John, good to see you. By the way, do you still have any of the Pilatus Corys or Paliatus Corys kicking about? I do. I do have them, and I believe I said I would send you some, so I will. Hopefully, if it warms up. Also been fighting the BBA water changes and mainly pulling the BBA. Yep. I just got done talking about the BBA struggle in this tank. Maybe also maybe spot treat the BBA with a dropper. They could spritz hydrogen peroxide on them. I know that works. I just kind of... So BBA, I mean, just from doing some reading and stuff, it could be from low flow or... I forget if it was low oxygen or low carbon. I'm guessing low carbon, but someone said just start doing a bunch of water changes, and it worked. I was doing 75% water changes like every 3 days, and did that for I don't know, maybe 4 or 5 times. So however, every 2 or 3 days. So for a couple weeks, and it definitely kicked it down. But now I have green bearded algae. So yeah, I don't know what it's actually called. I don't know the technical name, but green string algae. It's not very stringy. It looks like moss. It really does. But yeah. Lady Melhead says, "Oh wait, I have chat. Where's the chat on this screen? Comments. There we go. Now I gotta see where I was at. There we go. Our Super Reds from you are doing great. They've gotten fat. Yep. The Super Reds in here. It's crazy how they don't... I had originally bought a Super Red breeding trio like a couple years ago, and they were big and fat. And these guys are breeding. I have baby Super Reds in here, and they are not even half of the size of the breeding group I bought a couple years ago. Um, they're 2.5 inches, maybe two to three. Definitely not 3 inches. At 2.5 inches, they're breeding. So if you got male and female, you'll probably have babies. It just sucks because it seems like most of them are all females. And I wonder if that has something to do with temperature because I do keep this tank warmer for the brilliant bristlenose. Um, so I don't know if maybe keeping it warmer, if it just they're coming out more females. Um, that would be a test where I could be like, all right, I'm gonna lower the temperature and see if I start getting males. But I rather breed the brilliant bristlenose than the super red. So yeah, but they're all doing happy. There's actually a baby super red coming up in the front corner right now. It's a half inch. It's a baby. The one super red got is doing awesome as well. Awesome. There's Mr. Millhead. Good to see you. Scrolling. Liquid Zoo OnlyFans. Thank you so much for becoming a member. What's up, man? I was just talking about you a few minutes ago. I mean, maybe I don't know how far behind I'm in the chat, so maybe you were here when I was talking about you. But, anyways, good to see you guys. And Lady Millhead says, oh crap, now Matt's here. That is correct. I think I am caught up on the chat. So, I've been out of it for a little bit, guys. So, what's new with you? I know the Millheads got my 200-gallon cube. I sold them up and running, and it had plants in it. I actually don't know where it's at now. I just know it has. The last time I saw it had plants. So hopefully, you have fish in it, or you're getting close to having fish in it. I don't know. Hopefully, that's going somewhere. So sweet. What, you were napping? Matt was napping. All right, where are we at? Okay. So I guess I can try to catch you guys up on what's been going on in real life with me. Work. We moved into a new shop about like a month ago, like probably right around now. I believe it was like January. I can't remember if it was the 8th or 15th. Probably the 8th. I forget. January 8th, maybe the 15th. So a month ago ish. Moved into a new shop at work. It's freaking amazing. It really, once you have something that's nice and new, you really realize how big of a shithole you were working in before. The old shop it was never built to be a mechanic shop. It was built like back in the 70s as a warehouse, and then they turned it into a shop. The new shop was built from the ground up to be a shop. And there's just so many things, like lighting is 10 times better. It's brighter, but the coverage is better to work on cars. All the oil is on reels. Before, we had like handles where we took a jug and poured oil into a pail and dumped it into the car. Now it's on reels with washer fluid. That's another big one. The heat is way, way better in the shop. The old shop, we would be wearing jackets pretty much all day long. So the heat's better. We have AC, not that we're using that yet, but having AC in a car shop is rare around here. Pull in and pull out doors. We had one door in and out, which you could have traffic jams. Now we have 2 doors in our shop and 2 doors in the Volkswagen shop, but we're in the same building, and there's a drive-through between the 2 shops. So we technically have 4 doors. So if one breaks, we have 3 more doors. So that's really awesome. We have a floor drain, something we didn't have in the old shop. So in the winter, when we had snow and if it was raining, water would just pool up where you worked, and you would work in water until you went and got the Zamboni and sucked it up. Now we have floor drains, so the water goes away. Like, it's just super nice having a new shop. So that's one thing that's new. And what's going on with me? Fish wise, no new fish. Haven't got rid of fish, just still have all the same fish. I am trying to still downsize all my tanks this year. Um, the 55 I want to keep, maybe a couple 20 longs. The 75 I'll probably have to keep because that has like the goldfish and the kissing gourami. The kissing gourami, that was a rescue. That fish could go go to a new home. I'm not a fan of kissing gouramis. He's cool with Jake, the Randa goldfish, but the other goldfish, the kissing gourami and that goldfish don't get along very well. It's weird. The kissing gourami is friends with the Randa goldfish. They always swim together, but he doesn't like the other goldfish. But yeah, so not too much going on there, fishy wise. Still selling products online, 614fish.com, and I also sell some stuff on eBay. You're better off buying through the website. You can look me up on eBay, but I charge more on eBay because the fees, and they always want free shipping. So if I don't charge shipping on eBay, I just jack up the price wherever shipping would be because people want free shipping. So I just charge extra for the price on eBay. It's crazy. And people are like, oh, do you combine, blah, blah. I'm like, just order through the website. You get free shipping. You're going to spend $50 anyways. Just order through the website. And they're like, oh, cool. Let me get in the chat and try to catch up. $25 super chat from my mom. Well, thank you so much. They're in Florida. They have a house in Florida, so they're down in Florida right now. But thank you so much for the super chat. And now that you came back, you got to update that member code. I will post the member code after the live stream. Thanks for reminding me. We have fish in it with perfect parameters, but one died, so we don't know what's going on. Everything has tested fine. So with that, if you got perfect parameters, nitrates, ammonia, pH, even hardness, but if I wouldn't worry about hardness if you're going from tank to tank in your own house. If water tests out perfect and one fish died, it could just be a coincidence. As long as temperatures are the same, oxygen's the same, it could have been just a coincidence. I have fish that die weekly. With guppies, there's hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of fish here. I might have a guppy die in this tank or out in the fish room, or in the kitchen. There's guppies out in the kitchen. Fish just kind of, they might be fine one day and then just die. I don't know if you guys won't be able to see it on that flip flop, and you probably still can't see it. Right there's another baby bristlenose. Trying to see if there's any more, but I don't know. You probably can't see them that well, but yeah. So I mean, it sucks to lose fish. The water's good, and actual parameters are good. It could have just been quinky dink. Where did you get Thor's hammers, though? Thor's hammers. I don't know what that is. Like Thor's hammer? I don't have Thor's hammer. It'd be kind of cool to have one. A 30-gallon swordtail platy tank is producing lots of little ones. Second time having a tank that is producing fry. That's always fun. The one thing is, like, eventually it's going to get out of control. And same thing with guppies. But always have a plan for it. It's always fun when they start breeding. You're like, heck yeah. And then you're like, oh, crap, what do I do with 100 of these swordtails? And then a lot of time it's hard to get rid of, like, common stuff. I've had people ask me all the time if I'll take guppies or platies, and it's like I can't even sell the ones I got, so like I don't really want more. I've taken guppies and put them in the pond, and not for a selling point, just to rehome. But those guppies are now in the fish room. I did a video on that about how I thought the temperature was getting too cold, and I lost a bunch. And turns out all I have are females. There's like not a single male. So they've been in the fish room now for over a month, and I don't have any babies, which is good. So I think that the females are all, what's the word, like barren or sterile. So a female guppy can hold on to uh, sperm from the male guppy for like a long time. Even the male could be gone, and then like from what I've heard, I don't know this from personal experience, it could be months later they have babies. So far, no babies in the tank. It's been over a month, so I'm hoping that they're all would be fertile, sterile, whatever, and I can move some Vienna culls, male culls, out of this tank, because this tank is heavy males now. So it's like it kind of goes through swings. It'll be heavy females, heavy males, females, male. Right now it's heavy males, and there's a few that I want to pull out that have a little bit too much black in their tails. It kind of dilutes their pattern. So I think instead of calling them out to just like a tank, I'm putting them in with all those females. There's like 100 female guppies in that 10-gallon tank, guys. I'm thinking about putting like 2 males in there and just letting them have a fun weekend in Vegas, if you will. But that's what I think I'm going to do with these calls. And another thing is my nano air pump died sometime in the last 2 days. Or maybe it was today. I can't remember yesterday if I saw the air pump running, but the air stone was not running when I came in here tonight. So those nano air pumps, they're cheap. They're like, I forget what I was selling them for, $8 or whatever. They're not the longest lasting thing. So that one actually I've had for a long time, like at least whenever I set this tank up. There was one on the 25-gallon flue wall tank that has a mono shrimp in it, had the pea puffer. That pump, it's the weirdest thing. So that pump stopped working, and I literally hit it. Like I took the little nano pump and smacked it against the rack, and it started working. It would work for a week, and then it would stop. I'd smack it, and it would start working. It's like the blades were like getting hung up or whatever, but it kind of just smack starting it. And then it would work for a week, then stop. And I did it again, and now it's been working for like the last 4 months. So I don't know. They're kind of sketchy, but for using them for little air stones, they're very convenient. And $8 a piece. I don't sell them anymore, so don't be like, oh, let me still buy one. I don't sell them, but for $8, they're still kind of worth it. I just think they're so cheaply made that probably be hard to make them last forever. I know I was talking to, it was one of the mods. I don't know if it was like Chevy Fish or could have been, was it Tiffany White? I don't know who it was. Someone, a regular to the channel, said that their aquarium co-op ones, which these are the same thing from China. They were dying on them too. So I it is what it is. If they last a year, I'm happy. The one on the fish rack lasted like 6 months before it started acting up, but it's still running. You have to smack it a couple times. I feel like I have a hair. Lady Millhead, the only question you need to answer is, where is Charlotte? I'll call her for you. Charlotte. She's not coming. I don't know why. To be honest, they're probably in my bed right now. If I had to guess, they're probably in my bed. I can get Havana in here if I use the T word. But, yeah. So they're probably sleeping. They're doing good. We got to meet Charlotte when we went to get the cube. She is so sweet. Yeah, I took her to my friend's ranch, their horse farm. when was that? 3 weekends ago? We had just gotten a ton of snow. So I took her out there. I put a shirt on her. My friend bought her like a shirt to wear to help keep her warm. It's really thin, but maybe better than nothing. So I put a shirt on her and took her out there, and we put her on a horse lead. It's like, I don't know how long it is, 20 feet long. I'm just guessing. And let her run around. I can't let her loose because she's deaf. So if she starts running off, I can't yell at her. If she starts going like near a horse, I can't yell at her. So we kept her on a leash and we ran her around, and she got super tired. Running around at the farm, but I think being out in the cold and like some snow, running through the snow, because she just slept. I got home. I forget what time I went out there. Maybe 11 o'clock in the morning. I got home, I don't know, 2 o'clock or something. She slept like for hours after that. I only took her out because I didn't want to like have to try to wrangle her and Havana at the same time. So I took Charlotte out because I think Charlotte I can take out and Havana still does fine here by herself. Where if I take Havana out somewhere, like if I take Havana to the vet, Charlotte stays here. I think Charlotte gets a little bit more anxiety being by herself than Havana does. Havana just sleeps. How did the pond guppies do after everything went through? So I moved my pond guppies from the outdoor pond to the indoor pond. I'm recapping the video if you guys haven't seen it. My outdoor pond guppies back in, I don't know, I'm shooting from the hip now. September, October, we got like a cold snap. Maybe it was September. Got a cold snap, and I was like, oh crap. Lost like most of the guppies in the back pond. Moved what I had left to inside. I put a pond in the garage. Ran that for a few months. Got guppies from my cousin. Had a bunch of guppies. They didn't want a guppy tank anymore. I think they were switching to a salt tank. I can't remember how big the tank was. I don't know if it was a 55 or 75 or whatever it was. But they wanted a salt tank, and they had guppies. And I took them. So I put them in the pond. Well, like a month later, I noticed, it's all in the video, I noticed like 3 dead guppies. And I was like, I don't know why they're dying, but that's kind of weird that 3 died in the same day. I'm like, maybe it's getting too cold out here. Let me move them into the fish room. The fish room's heated. So I moved them in the fish room, and once I got them into a tank instead of a pond, all their bellies were super sunk. So I was like, either they have internal parasites or like a worm, or they're not eating enough. So because the water was colder, I wasn't feeding them super often. And by super often, I mean like every 2 days they ate once. So I think I was just under feeding them. So in the fish room, since the water's warm, like normal temperature year round, they're on auto feeders. So they were eating twice a day. And then if there was anything extra, these barbass. The barbass are catching my eye. There's 3 of them in that corner. It looks like they're trying to lay eggs on the silicone. I think I see eggs on the front glass. I can't even. I wish I could use they need like a laser pointer function. If you look, so the barbatuses that are on the right side of the tank right now, there's the wood. There's a rock. If you look at the wood on the right side of the tank, the first rock that's to the left, if you go straight up halfway up the tank, there's like the crypt Wendetti red. Right in the middle of that Wendetti red, there's like an orange blob that looks like 3, maybe 4 eggs to me. So looks like there's already eggs on the front glass, if I had to guess. It might, at first I thought it was a ram's horn snail, but it hasn't moved all live stream. So I think those are eggs right there on the front glass. It looks like they're probably putting eggs on the back silicone right now. So going to pull eggs tonight. Side note, at least for this tank, there's like 3 breeding pairs in here. I don't know if it's because I have 3 pairs or if this is just them in general. They eat the eggs. So if I don't pull these eggs tonight, they'll be gone tomorrow. They will not survive in the tank. If the only way I can get barbatus babies is if I pull the eggs. So I don't know if it's the parents eating them or if it's the other breeding pairs. Like, let's say this pair that's swimming right now together, if they lay eggs, if the other ones get jealous and eat them, I don't know. But either way, the eggs get eaten if I don't pull them. So, yeah, if you're trying to breed them and you're not having success, you just gotta wait. And they always do this at night. So usually when I get home from work, that's when the auto feeder is going on their tank. I think their tank is set at noon, and then at 5 or 6 p.m. the auto feeder goes. You can see right now, it looks like they're trying to put some eggs. So what's happening is that male. Well, no, there's two males. Those are both two males right there. The males are sparring a little bit, but the one male will come up and start pushing on the female, and that's saying he's telling her like, "Hey, deposit eggs." But right now, it looks like two males are sparring. That's what's going on at the top. So that's pretty cool. It's kind of fun to watch. So, anyways, pond guppies, squirrel. It's been a while for one of those. The pond guppies, once they got into the auto feeder, they're doing great. So I haven't noticed any deaths in the tanks. There's still a couple that have pretty small bellies. That still makes me think that there's possibly something internal going on with those. I did treat the whole system for internal parasites. So I might run another round of that. I don't want to run round back to back to back. I like to run a full round of it. So if it's, dose, wait a day, dose, like wait 2 days, dose, water change. I usually don't water change. I only do water top offs. That system, that none of the tanks have lids, so it evaporates pretty quickly. So I probably add 30 gallons of water to that system a week. So I don't water change out the meds. But I don't like to just continually do the same meds over and over because I don't know. I feel like it would, but I don't know if they will build immunity to those medications. So I like to try to treat them. Right now, there's no deaths, so it's not like I need to be quick with the treatments. Like, all right, I gotta treat it. So treat them for a week. I'll take a few weeks off, then I'll treat them again. Yeah, so that was a male only up in that corner. So I bet there's eggs up there, and he just went up there to fertilize them. If I had to guess. So yeah, I'm getting distracted watching the Barbados now. All right, scrolling. The tank. It looks like a massive. Oh, Thor's hammer. You're talking about the driftwood. I get it now. I wasn't sure what was. Yeah. Massive. Now I get it. I just thought you were talking about my massive wood. I get it now. I get it now. Sorry, guys. A little slow on the uptake. Those two males would be big man on campus. That's what I'm talking about. Those Vienna guppies will be extremely happy. Stephen P, good to see you. Oh yeah, they're definitely having babies tonight. For sure. And these guys were live bearers. I would have so many Barbados Cories. It'd be insane. There's 3 pairs in here, and they're all frisky. They're all frisky. I think they're just taking turns right now. Let me scroll. Eduardo, good to see you. I'm sub, but first time here. Interesting. Well, glad you're here. It's a rarity for me to do a live stream these days, but I am here. Scroll in. Try and catch up, guys. Chevy Fish dropping a link to the website, 614fish.com. Thank you so much. Scrolling. Oh God, talk about pup wrangling. We now have 2 puppies. The Stripey sisters are a handful together, 1-year-old Doxy mix and a 7-month-old mountain cur. What's a mountain cur? Mountain cur mix. What's cur? Cur. I think curly mountain cur. Google. Mountain. Oh, it's just called a mountain cur. It's a working dog for specifically for treeing and trailing small game like squirrel and raccoons. Where are we at? I bet that dog has a ton of energy. Well, I mean, most working dogs do. Havana and I got into a little wrestling match tonight, and she's really good. There's commands like I can ask her questions like, "Do you want to go for a truck ride?" And she gets excited. She knows what that is. Do you want to go see Grammy? Do you want to go outside? Do you want a treat? Stuff like that. And I say, "You want to fight?" And if she's feeling frisky, she'll fight me. So what she does is she'll grab my arm and I wrestle with her. And I know she's a pit bull, but she doesn't bite me. She just holds my arm and we wrestle. And um, I push her off. She comes, and people can say that's bad habit to teach a dog. I don't care. She's always with me. That's my dog. So we wrestle. I'll push her away. She runs back. She grabs my arm. We had a good wrestling match today. Usually she's getting pretty old, so wrestling matches are usually like a couple minutes long. She was like 5 minutes deep, just still going. And then she'll get the zoomies, and her zoomies are she does 360 circles. She'll like tuck her butt and just do 360 like flat spins. Like Charlotte, when she gets zoomies, she runs like around the house. She'll jump like couch to couch, run behind the couch, jump couch to couch, and run as fast as she can. Havana just like does donuts like in place, like crazy fast. I don't know how she does it without falling over anymore, but she was getting it tonight. Mickey, good to see you. What catfish is that? That is correct. That is the Barbados. Oh, I guess I can change the name. I always name the tank. But since I went live with it showing, I was like, let me just put that as a text, like, so you guys know it's not just dead screen tonight. So yeah. How big do those fish get? I think I read they get up to like 4 inches. These guys are probably 3 inches. They're a big Corridora. They're long. Their wingspan on the males is freaking huge. So that what's swimming right now, going up behind the wood, that's a male. They're kind of swept out, so they go out and they curve up. The fish might be 3 or 3.5 inches long right now, but when their wings are, I call them their wings. When their wings are out, they're easily 3 inches wide too. Yeah, they're probably 3 inches or so, 3.5. Who came up with that name? No idea. I just always call them the Barbados. They're also known as the bearded Cory. And I've seen people call them the horse face Cory. I just call them the Barbados Corys. They are really awesome. And I've said this before, I'm sure in live streams. I kept these guys in a 10-gallon tank with gravel and Christmas moss. People say don't keep Corys with gravel because it messes up their barbels, which are their whiskers that they feel. I don't really find that to be true with at least with the gravel I had. I just had aquarium gravel. They did fine with it, not messing themselves up. But even though they did fine, they thrive, not fine, but thrive on sand. It was a 9-day difference. they with that long snout, they dig into the sand. They're kind of like a little hog nose, and they dig in the sand for like detritus worms or microfauna or food particles, whatever. They love digging in the sand. And that sand, I don't know if you can see it right now, like in the center of the screen where the dwarf sage is. There's actually a quarry down there right now. I just noticed. Didn't even notice it before, but there's a quarry sitting down there in that dwarf sagittaria. It's very lumpy and it actually dips down. That's because they dig it up like by those plant roots. What you can't see is there's actually dwarf sage floating on the surface that they've ripped out from digging. Um, but yeah, they really do enjoy the sand way more than gravel. They did fine on gravel, but they definitely do better on sand. I know in the wild they're on sand. So if you want to do a Barbados tank or probably any quarry tank, sand is the way to go for sure. You kept them with the emerald quarries. I kept the babies with the emerald quarries. If you're talking to me, the adults were have always been by themselves. The babies, whenever I hatched the babies, they were going into what's the CPD tank right now. Oh, I have a good story about that too. CPD tank. I had the emerald greens. It was I forget the exact number I had. Three or four emerald greens, and there was like two like old, fully grown grandfather salt and pepper quarries that were huge in there too. But that's where I was keeping the baby Barbados. Now in that tank is baby Barbados and CPDs. But speaking of CPDs, I set up a fish tank at my aunt's house and fully planted, no filter, has air stone water movement, planted tank, little pieces of driftwood, and I put in pearlweed. I floated pearlweed to get top cover, and then I think I planted maybe dwarf sagittaria. I can't remember what I planted. Maybe I don't think I did valsinaria. I think it was dwarf sag. And I took over three, I think, CPDs out of my tank. So I had six CPDs. Pretty sure they were all males. They all looked the exact same. Never had breeding behavior or anything like that. So I just took three is what I could catch out and give them to my aunt because they look cool. They stay small. Perfect for that little planted tank. So that was like in June or July. I think July, beginning of July is when I set that tank up and gave her the fish. And I put ram's horns in there to keep the tank clean. Basically, I wanted to give her a tank that she wouldn't have to clean. She hasn't had to clean it once. I don't even know. I don't think she does water changes. I think she just does water top offs, if that. Well, yeah, she's had to do water top offs in the last 8 months, right? But her last fish tank she had was like gravel bottom. I don't remember if it was like pink gravel or if it was colored with some fake plants and like the boat and some mollies, I think. So now she's got like a naturalistic tank that she doesn't have to clean ever. She just adds water. The glass is clean. The ram's horns keep the glass clean. It's algae free. There's no night. It's 3 CPDs and planted. Like there's no nitrates. The plants are consuming the nitrates. Well, anyway, she calls me or she texts me. She's like, "You gotta come get rid of some of these plants. It's taking over the whole tank. You can't even see the fish." I was like, "Okay." That was a while ago. She's like, "I haven't seen the fish in months. Like I think they're all dead." I was like, "That sucks." So then she sent me a picture. She's like, "I think the fish had babies." And I was like, "I don't think they had babies because they're all males. I'm pretty sure they're all males." Well, nope. She sent me a video. They definitely have babies. There's a baby CPD. I mean, it's so small and it's like clear you can't tell, but CPDs are the only fish I put in that tank, and it's definitely a baby fry. So not only did I give her what I thought were 3 males, and I've never been able to breed them, she bred them, and she doesn't do anything with the tank. It's just all natural planted tank, bred CPDs. The one fish I would love to breed because they sell extremely well. They're not a big money maker. You can make if you can breed them enough and have enough babies, you can make good money with CPDs. CPDs are awesome for a planted tank. Like this tank that we're looking at right now, the Barbados, I could put 20 to 30 CPDs in there and be extremely happy. It would be awesome. It'd be a lot of money to buy 30 CPDs, but if I could breed them, I would for sure and sell them. And she bred them. She thought they were all dead. No, and then she's like, "Oh, I actually looked. I counted. There, all three of them are in there." And there was like a picture in the video of the baby fry that's out of focus, but you can see the adults in the background. So yeah, my aunt's breeding CPDs without trying. So she said, I believe she said she would become my business partner for 50% because she bred them. And I was like, yeah. So that was my funny story. Made my aunt the fish tank, and she's breeding a fish I couldn't breed. And I also thought I only had males. So yeah. Anyways, I'll have to do whenever I go over there to. And by what she says that the tank's overgrown, it's the pearl weed. The pearl weed's got like nice long runners going down, like roots, and it's actually great. That's probably why they're breeding. So it's really good. So it didn't look as bad as I thought from her little video. So I'll have to go over there and see in person to see how much I want to take out, because I don't want to remove a ton, and maybe lose some of that nitrate removing ability. I mean, if it did fine when I put a little bit in, even if I took out half of what's there now, it'd still be more than what I originally started with. But I'd have to go through that pearl weed and make sure there's no eggs in there, because I believe the CPDs are scattering. They're probably scattering them in that pearl weed. So there could be eggs in there. And if anything, I want them to keep having babies. And hopefully it gets to the point where she's got too many fish in that fish tank and I'll have to come get them. So yeah. Why is my chat not updating? I don't know why. Hide that. Okay. So yeah. CPDs, breeding, aunt's house, squirrel. I'm trying to think what else. Tank wise, nothing. I mean, CPDs, that's a cool story for my aunt. The brilliant bristlenose, that's my awesomeness right now. 7 of them plus having more mini babies. I sold 2 for sure in the cave. Hopefully there's more. Actually, I'm going to look right now and just see if I see any more. Okay, so it's so hard because I definitely see 1 baby in there, 2 babies. So the male is in there and he's fanning. He's in there fanning. I don't see eggs, but there's 2 babies. Those babies are definitely like at least a week old. So they're not like tiny. They're 1/4 inch. Grabbing a ruler. So the older adults, they're probably coming up on 1 inch. The second batch that are in that cave, I mean, they're more than a 1/4 inch, I'd say. They're definitely not 1/2 inch. We'll say 1/4 inch, maybe a little bit longer. So we'll see. I bet they gotta be at least a week old, be at least a 1/4 inch, right? I don't know. But we're just letting that tank do its thing. Doesn't look good, but it's a happy tank. I mean, if it was happy, I wouldn't think I'd have all that algae, but it's working, so I don't want to mess with it. I'll just keep doing a weekly water change, and we'll keep it going. But anyways, I'm running out of stuff to talk about because I wasn't really planning on doing this. I was like, you know what? Let's do a live stream tonight. So I tried to make the live stream earlier in the day. I think I set it up on my lunch break to send out notifications because I haven't uploaded videos to this channel or done live streams. So I'm out of the algorithm. So I don't know how many people got notifications. The likes on the video help with live streams with sending out like, hey, SC's live. But yeah, so I don't want to promise you guys I'll be doing this next week or whenever. We'll see how this coming week goes, but maybe next Friday I'll be live again. I don't know. We'll see. If you guys follow my other channel, it's Beater Box Garage. I don't know if this is going to work. I'm gonna try to post a link in the chat. I don't know if that's the correct link. But I'll type it in. That way you can see it. Beater Box Garage. It's my second YouTube channel. It's automotive related. There's a few of you that have commented and are subscribed. So thank you so much for the subs. I only have like 50 subs on that channel. So if you're not subbed to it, go hit that sub button for me. If you're not into cars or anything, just don't hit the notification bell. And that way you're not like alerted like, hey, Beater Box Garage upload a video. Hitting that sub though would help me out. Anyways, if you are following that channel and you do like car stuff or whatever, I've had a couple of comments like, when the next video is coming out, I'm waiting on a subframe for my car. So that's, if you follow the series of the car build, the subframe needs replaced. It's rusted out. So it's like a safety issue. I found one. My buddy's got one that's rust free and said I can have it for freebie. I just have to go get it. So I have to make time like when he's free and when I'm free, because he's actually got some really nice cars that I want to film for the channel. So I could just go out one night after work to get the subframe, but I want to go out like on a weekend when it's nice out, because he doesn't take his cars out if it's not nice. And he's not taking them out if there's salt in the road. I probably guarantee that. But Matt, thank you so much for dropping the link. I don't know if my link worked, but I think it did because it looks like the same link. Yeah, so I just got to go get that, and then I'll continue doing stuff. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for hanging out with me tonight. It feels good to hang out with you guys. I will see you when I see you. Hopefully it'll be more often. Hopefully once it warms up, there'll be more things going on, and I don't know, more content or not. I don't know how much fish content if I'm trying to get rid of tanks, but who knows what will happen with any of my plans. My mind's always changing. So, but it's good seeing all of you guys. IHSP, good to see you. Have you been here the whole time? Maybe you've been here the whole time and I totally miss you, but good to see you, IHSP. Thank you, everybody, for the super chats tonight. It's the most super chats I've had in months because I haven't been here in months, but thank you so much. Sorry I missed majority of this. Well, that's okay. But yes, thank you so much for the super chats tonight, guys. I will see you when I see you. Check out the second channel if you would. Hit that sub button. And yeah. And no dogs. Maybe Havana, do you want a treat? Havana, you want a treat? Havana. She says, hell no, I'm sleeping. And that dog's not getting up for a treat. She is tired. Havana. Oh, she's coming. Come here. Oh, since she's coming, the other one's coming. Come here. Come here. People want to see you, girls. Oh, there they are. There's Sleepyhead and Sleepyhead. She's got to get the one, and then the other one follows. Hi, girls. Hi. Did you have a nice nap? All right, guys. So there's Charlotte. She's alive. Corella didn't get to her. Yeah. All right, guys. Well, Mike said, holy sheet, Steven live stream. Everybody's missing a live stream tonight. Anyways, guys, good to see you. And we'll see. I gotta go give them treats now. We'll see you next time. I remember how to end this. Maybe. You want a treat? Do you want a treat?